Welcome back to another martial arts video, and this time we have Osirous, the brand new Historia era monster. So this guy was shown off in the event board, and he was shown up as a support monster who can resurrect. So that seems really interesting. So let's review this guy. First off, let's feed him to level 100, and we will have a complete review of him, starting with his evolving trait. So at rank 0 he has hardened, and the worst umbrella trait obviously, but not that great. Rank 1, it has immunity to trigger death. Now this is not good at all. Like, this one is super situational. Like, it's really rare to see cursed countdown in the current meta, so not really that useful. Very situational trait, not really that good honestly. And at rank 3 it has status caster life regeneration. Now this is a good trait. The only good thing about the traits for this guy, and when you pair him up with Enkidu, who has status caster double healing, this will work really well. So I guess that's also pretty good. Now let's look at its skills. So first off, it has an area resurrection skill with 33% life and life regeneration, so it can heal later. This is really good. It's only it is a 3-turn cooldown, but it's whatever. Then it has a removes all tortures, heals ally by 30%. Not bad. Let's add that in. And then resurrects one ally with 50% life and precision. Again, 3-turn cooldown, which I guess is not really that great. Then it has a negative effect protection skill. And even though this is recommended, I might replace this shadow tunic, the one which gives true vision and regeneration, with this, because my team doesn't really use a whole lot of negative effects, so probably won't be using this one, but I'll use this just for you guys because it is one of the recommended skills. And its special removes all negative effects, a 50% heal, evasion, and double damage, which is a solid special, not gonna lie. Then obviously it does have access to regeneration, precision, and negative effect protection as effects. That's pretty good. And anyways guys, let's go for the recommended runes, and I here only have one unlocked rune slot, so I'm gonna go with team speed, obviously because it's a support monster. If I had 3 unlocked rune slots, I would go full on team speed. And now what everyone's been waiting for, let's talk about its pros and its cons. Let's start off with the pros for this guy. So first off, his typing is light and dark, so I guess very similar to Varus, so it's only weak to metal type, which again is always good because Justin is in the light meta, so this is really good for him. And then obviously its support skills are pretty solid. It does not have negative effect removal, which is pretty bad, but it does have torture removal, it does have resurrection skills, and it does have precision. So I guess that is really good on its end. And it also has true vision. The dark move which I mentioned earlier does also have access to true vision and regeneration, which is a great status effect. And for my Mater Guinness fans out there, it does have negative effect protection, and its status caster life regeneration also works really well with Enkidu because of the double healing, so its status caster is really solid as well. But now let's talk about its cons. First off, let's address the obvious. Its trait is really bad. It only has hardened and immunity to trigger death. Hardened is the most basic umbrella trait, not really the best, not really great as for an overall trait. And immunity to trigger death is very situational, so it's gonna be really rare to see that trait actually being put to some use, so not really that great as well for its traits. And obviously the other problem it has is the increasing number of monsters with the resurrection block trait. Since this guy mainly has 2 resurrection skills, resurrection block, which is becoming more common and common, you see more monsters get it, like Dosagumi, Viserion, all these guys having access to resurrection block. It's not really gonna be that great for this guy. And another problem which it has is the resurrection skills. They have super high stamina costs and cooldowns. I mean, there's literally 3-turn cooldowns and over more than 50 stamina, which is not really that good. Once you get cooldown activated, it's going to be really hard for this guy to bring back his dead allies and all, so that's really bad on its end as well. So really bad. And another problem which I don't know if I should really be addressing this, but so many supports have the problem, which is obviously access to no negative effect removal skills, which is, again, as I mentioned in my previous videos, they are becoming a luxury as we move on. So yeah, having no access to negative effect removal also sparks another problem for this guy, which is reverse healing. Like you see monsters which have an increasing number of reverse healing, and since this guy has status caster regeneration, is just gonna chip out 20% life for every turn. And if you pair this guy up with an Enkidu which has status caster double healing, that's just gonna go double removal of life, which is going to be really bad for this guy since there is no access to negative effect removal. Another con for this guy is that this guy, he doesn't have any moves which do damage in the light type skills. So when we look at his supporting skills, his healing, his resurrection, all of it is light type, which do no damage. And he has two moves which do damage, which is his both dark type moves which apply negative effect protection. Now these two are the only skills that actually do damage, which are both are of dark element. He doesn't have any moves which do damage in the light element. But I would say this is more of a minor inconvenience than a con. But overall, this guy is pretty decent. I guess use him if you want a better Uriel, and that's all. Subscribe.